All right, everybody. I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA, and this is my update for Friday, January 15th. So Joe Biden released his stimulus plan yesterday, the America Rescue Plan, and at $1.9 trillion, it's a doozy. I'm going to get into all the details later in this video. Now, I think it's a bit humorous, but in unveiling the plan, Biden officials reportedly said that his plan is meant to be passed quickly and will be followed by a broader recovery package that includes other things that Democrats want. So they're basically saying that this plan, this America Rescue Plan, is an appetizer of sorts. But the fact of the matter is, you know as well as I do that a $1.9 trillion relief bill will not be passed quickly in this Congress. Yes, Dems have a majority in the House, and once Warnock and Ossoff are sworn in, which will happen after Georgia certifies the results of the election, at that point, Democrats will control the 50-50 Senate. Chuck Schumer will be Senate Majority Leader. But Dems are not going to include this Biden stimulus plan as part of the reconciliation bill. That means that just like any other normal piece of legislation, they will need cloture. They are doing this as normal legislation. They need 60 votes in the Senate to get this thing through. You will have 48 Dems, 2 independents who caucus with the Dems, 50 Republicans. So we're starting at 50, right? But wait, Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin is not a fan of more broadly sent stimulus checks. I would be surprised if he would be open to another round of broadly sent stimulus checks in addition to over $1 trillion in other spending. Let's say he's a no. We're down to 49. Do the progressives like this thing, right? People like Bernie. He's going to be the powerful budget committee chairman. Do progressives think it's too little? Well, good news is that Bernie, in a statement, called Biden's plan a very strong first installment. So let's say Manchin's out, but every other Democrat and the independents support Biden's plan. He'd still need 11 Republican senators. Now, we know there might be half a dozen or so Republican senators open to $2,000/$1,400 stimulus checks, but will they be open to that along with more unemployment, along with more rental assistance, along with an additional $350 billion for state and local government spending, along with all the other things in this Biden plan? I don't know. Personally, I'm thinking that even though Biden is presenting this as something to be passed quickly, I think he knows that he will be negotiated down on several components here. So he's putting out something big, fully knowing that it will likely be whittled down in negotiations if it has any chance of passing the Senate. And I think this price tag is strategic at $1.9 trillion. For one thing, you get a little deja vu, right? This was Mnuchin's final offer. Mnuchin's plan obviously had different components, but that was the top line. Also, this figure is less than $2 trillion. Republicans can't complain now about a multi-trillion-dollar stimulus bill like they could with the HEROES Act from last May. Anyway, what exactly is in Biden's plan? Well, the good thing about Biden's plan is that about half of it, about $1 trillion, is for the people. We've got $2,000 stimulus checks, which will be for many people $1,400 stimulus checks because it's simply an increase of the $600 stimulus check. This isn't a fresh, you got 600, here's 2,000. No, that's not how this is working. If you already got 600, you'll get 1,400 this time around. Married, you get 1,200, you'll get 2,800, assuming you are eligible for the full benefit, and so on and so forth. Biden wants to increase the supercharged federally funded unemployment benefits, the FPUC, from the current $300 per week to $400 per week. Currently, under the last stimulus bill, the FPUC is set to expire in mid-March. Biden wants to extend that to September. That includes not only FPUC, but also PEUC and PUA. He wants to put in place automatic boosters to possibly grant even more assistance. In terms of housing, Biden wants to extend the eviction and foreclosure moratoriums to the end of September. He also wants more rental relief, an additional $25 billion in rental relief on top of the $25 billion that was included in the last stimulus bill. Biden also wants $5 billion in assistance to cover home energy and water costs, as well as $5 billion in emergency assistance to find housing for homeless individuals or those at risk of becoming homeless in the near future. Biden also wants to extend the 15% increase in SNAP benefits to the end of September, as well as allocate an additional $3 billion to WIC, that's the Women, Infants, and Children Nutrition Program. Also, Biden's plan, he wants to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour and end the lower minimum wages for tipped individuals as well as for those on disabilities. Yeah, I don't think that will fly with 11 Republicans. Biden also wants to increase the child tax credit from where it currently is at $2,000 to $3,000. Biden wants $3,000 per child, all of which would be fully refundable. He wants to increase the age of children eligible for the child tax credit to 17 years old. Currently, it's up to 16 years old. for the children under the age of 6, Biden wants to throw in an additional $600 for the child tax credit, so children between the ages of 0 and 5 would be eligible for a $3,600 child tax credit, and children between the ages of 6 and 17 would be eligible for a $3,000 child tax credit. In terms of other tax moves, Biden wants to expand the earned income tax credit as well as a tax credit for childcare costs. In terms of small businesses, Biden wants $15 billion in grants to more than 1 million of the hardest hit small businesses. He wants a low interest lending and investment program for small businesses as well. State and local funding, Biden wants $350 billion to keep first responders on state payrolls, as well as maintain other vital services and respond to COVID-19 appropriately. Biden wants $20 billion for public transit, $20 billion toward a COVID-19 vaccination program, $50 billion to expand COVID-19 testing, emergency paid leave for Americans to help stop the spread of the virus, funding for 100,000 public health workers to carry out vaccine outreach and contact tracing, $130 billion for school reopening to reopen safely in light of coronavirus, and $35 billion to public education institutions. There are a few more this and that's in Biden's proposal, such as cybersecurity and some other things. I'll put a link in the description below to the document released by the Biden team. But I want to know, do you think Republicans will go for something like this large $1.9 trillion proposal, especially positioned as an appetizer of sorts so that it will pass quickly? Or do you think this will turn into another stimulus negotiation circus, despite the fact that Republicans have far less power than they did previously? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.